Center.
Here we go.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to 20-somethings TV. I'm Max. We have Matt and Michael here again today. And we also have a few guests. We have Sean and we have Justin. We have a lot of interesting things to talk about today.
On
And,
20-somethings TV.
Fine, okay.
We're talking about
Interrupt me. So, the first thing I think we need to talk about is Bernie Sanders endorsing Biden for president. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not politically motivated too much. I'm a registered independent, so legally, I don't think I can answer whether I like this or not.
It makes sense because, I mean, if he's being expected to endorse someone, it'd make more sense for him to endorse Biden to endorse Trump. So,
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking personally, I'm someone who does try to, I try to keep up on politics as much as I can, and I can actually say, here at home, I am a pretty big fan of Bernie. I went to one of his rallies right before Super Tuesday, so I really like him. And so, anyway, without saying too much about either Biden or Bernie, because I could go on about that forever, but from my point of view, I think that Bernie doing what he did like that was a mistake. I'm not saying he shouldn't have endorsed Biden necessarily. I would definitely rather endorse Biden than Trump. I agree with you. But I think that because they're so different, and Bernie has a huge portion of the party that really agrees with them, I think it would have been better if rather than just rolling over and giving the endorsement to Biden just like that, I think he should have asked Biden for basically some concessions in the name of his movement, in the name of some of the things that he believes for, if he wanted that nomination. I'm sorry, not the nomination. He wanted that.
That's kind of a strong stand to take, though. I mean, I sort of feel that at the most basic level, the most important thing is the Democrats marshal all the forces behind one candidate. I mean, the Republicans certainly have. So the Republicans are all for Trump. So why don't the Democrats go all in with Biden, if you want to beat Trump? Maybe they don't want to beat Trump.
Well, I mean, personally, I think that if your only message is we have to beat Trump no matter what, I think that obviously everyone, well, not everyone, but obviously all the Democrats want Trump out of office. But I think if you're going to do that, you can't just say we want Trump out here. I think you have to have like an active argument for the kind of things that you're arguing for. You have to have like some sort of substantial policy to replace it with. That's the way I think about it, at least.
No, this is true. I mean, for me, the biggest question is going to be who is his VP choice? Because if he has a VP choice that does mix things up a little bit close to Bernie, that could really make the ticket come alive.
I agree.
So what kind of VP choices do you guys think that Biden should go for? Do you think he could even bring Bernie as a vice president or anyone else that's, up to par?
I doubt Bernie. I highly doubt that one.
I know he was talking a lot about a woman. I actually saw a list of potential candidates, and I was looking through it, and I was surprised to see I saw Rhode Island's Governor Gina Raimondo on the ticket, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, what? What is this about? Like, what's one of the options? It just shocked me. I couldn't believe that one.
I'm going to go with Stacey Abrams or Kamala Harris. I think both of them would be great.
I don't know who specifically. I haven't looked a ton into the specific VP choices, but in terms of again what kind of policy I'd be looking for in someone to VP, I think you should definitely get someone from the further left wing of the party. I think because
Agreed.
he had a huge, like Bernie, like he had a ton of groundswell, and there are a lot of people who are very upset that he is not the nominee. So I think if you pick someone whose policies are more aligned with him, then I think that'd be good. Personally, like I think it would be great if he had a woman as VP, but at the same time, I don't think that I would rather have a man with further left politics than a woman who wasn't. Again, if you find a woman with further left politics, that'd be great. But for me, I think that having a woman in there is great. But as far as I'm concerned, policy comes first and foremost above all else.
And I'm really glad we are able to sit down here and discuss all these things at great lengths now that we're all unfortunately quarantined inside our houses. But while we're quarantined inside and we get to discuss, politics a lot more than we normally do, what else do we take for granted? Like, as in going outside, we can't do that anymore. For me personally, I really take for granted getting a haircut. I miss it so much.
Even just like going to like just like a random school, backyard, park, or anything, just to play catch with your friends. I miss that desperately. Just every day you just stare at the wall. You're like, another day of staring at a computer screen because there's no one to play catch with.
Well, speaking of computer screens, on the bright side, Valorant came out, which is nice. I don't know if you played that.
So
bad.
Max, I want to talk about what I've done differently since I was quarantined. The first day I got back from Spain, I started self-quarantining, and I was like, I'm not going to get depressed. Every day I'm going to write down something I'm grateful for and put it in this book. So I've kept like a journal of like a month of things that I'm grateful for.
That is amazing. Can you please read a few to us?
Really?
Absolutely, Justin.
If you want to. I think we can
All
use
right.
as much positivity as we can get our hands on right now.
I mean, it can't be something very specific like Charlize Theron in Young Adult, which is this movie. I thought she was great. Riding the exercise bike while I'm watching Prince Sign of the Times is another one. Sitting outside at twilight on a spring afternoon.
Oh, that is poetry right there. You should publish.
You like that, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It kind of helps for me, a little bit to level things out.
You know what? I'm actually in a similar boat as you, Justin. I've been wanting to do stand-up for such a long time now. So I've been writing like really terrible jokes like about a certain topic every day. I don't have any really.
Right.
More of something I'm going to do because I'm procrastinating. But I'm hoping, I just write a little bit every day of poetry, a story, jokes. It does help a lot, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, you got all the time in the world to procrastinate right now.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the biggest things that I really miss, and this is so broad, but just like the whole social interaction piece, I did not realize how often even just like saying hi to someone in the line in front of me at Stop and Shop meant to me. Because now when I'm standing there and I'm 6 feet apart with my mask on, looking like I'm walking around a zombie apocalypse, and people get scared if you sniffle your nose because of allergies or clear your throat, like I want to do right now, but I don't want you all to take it the wrong way. It's just like, it's those little social cues that just don't exist anymore. Especially, and this is very deep maybe to think about it this way, but having a mask over your face like we're supposed to eliminates all these facial emotions that we can't see from other people when you're out in public, and everyone just looks so blank. And I just
because no one knows how to smile with their eyes. I don't. I use my mouth for everything.
Yeah,
Smile with your eyes.
Yeah, humans just like aren't supposed to be living like this. And again, that's not to say that it wasn't a necessary evil. Like obviously we had to do what we had to do in order to, in order to make sure that the virus didn't spread, and it was all necessary. But it's just, I'm definitely, there's just so much I took for granted. Even as someone who didn't go outside all that much, I just realizing how much social interaction I just took for granted.
Absolutely. But I mean, on the bright side, we were discussing about it before, but at least we can pick up hobbies now. Justin and I, we mentioned drawing, writing, all those beautiful things that help us, get by these terrible times. What have you guys been doing?
Making a lot of music. Personally, for the past year or so, I've been doing my own sort of thing of music. Started off as a joke, but over time, I mean, hearing someone like me say I'm a quote unquote rappers typically makes someone go like, oh, okay, nice joke. But like, I've been taking a lot of time to perfect my craft right now since I have all the time in the world.
What's your SoundCloud name?
I'm actually on Spotify and Apple Music if you want to look that up. It's Rathew, Rathew.
Okay,
I
okay.
can write that down.
Me too. I definitely want to look that up.
I have a friend back home who's in the same boat making music, and his name is Big Nug. So I mean, Rathew, I think is a better name than that.
Yeah.
This is the time of like creativity, and that's what's nice about these hobbies. Like Matt's creating his music. I know I've talked about this for 3 weeks now. Please
Bread?
bear. My bread. I have been baking like a loaf of bread a day, and it's a great task. Let me explain why. Because you can be doing homework. You make your dough. You let it rise. You do some schoolwork. You let it proof again. You do some more schoolwork.
Wait, how did you start baking bread? Like, what got you into this?
Oh, honestly, I made one at 3 a.m. the other day. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand it. It's just like
But I've heard that a lot of people are doing
can't
it.
go outside. Everyone just has this like primal urge to go and bake bread.
But I think the reason is because it can last throughout a day. It's like a whole day of activity, and I can do other things at the same time, and it makes the house smell amazing.
Yeah, but
What
Michael,
kind of bread?
All right, I've done cinnamon sugar. I've attempted to do sourdough. That ended up in the trash. I've done regular white. I've done rye. I did a bread with sausage because Nana gave me sausage to put in bread, and I don't know why that didn't work either. But it's all about experimenting. This is the time of creativity.
Where are you getting this yeast?
So I personally, the Shaws in Riverside, in East Providence here, they have yeast. I don't know if they will now that I said this.
I'm about to text my mom.
But they do have it. Yeast and flour, though, I have noticed are very, very short in the stores. I think that's because so many people are doing this for some reason.
Hey,
My parents were at the store this weekend. They saw flour and they were like freaking out, and they bought a 25-pound bag of it just to
I
make
know.
some.
Hey, buddy, come here. You want a nice? Hey, got some yeast for you right here. Yeast.
Exactly.
So my thing with the quarantine is that I used to like to go to the gym, worked out with my trainer, lifted weights, and of course you can't go to the gym. Forget that.
Nope.
So I first thing I ordered when I got back, free weights, a yoga mat, and I got my exercise bike. So I'm trying to do something physical every single day, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I think that helps too.
See, I've been trying so hard to work out during Corona, but I just don't have a routine down or anything. So whenever I'm doing 12 reps into 60, each and every day, it's hard to know what I should be doing. Like, am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? Justin, what's your routine, man?
It's at least 30 minutes, and I do it at the same time every day, 5 p.m., and it's going to be either riding the exercise bike while I'm watching YouTube videos, or it's going to be yoga with a DVD, or it's going to be aerobics with a DVD. And I circle between those three things, and it works out pretty well. Like, I definitely know if I skip a day, I can't, I'm wide awake at night. So I need to get rid of that energy, and that kind of really helps that way.
Meanwhile,
What kind of-
I get myself in the shop. That's fine.
I mean,
So what kind of YouTube videos are you watching while you're on your exercise bike?
Well, I'm like older than your parents, so all my points of reference are going to be like stuff from the 80s or 70s. So, for example, I was watching clips from Flashdance, this amazing movie from the 80s, or Grease, the movie that I think Keith likes quite a bit, or what was the other one? Saturday Night Fever.
Ooh, all very good movies. I like Grease.
I literally
20-somethings on YouTube. If you want something to watch.
Really?
20-something TV.
Yeah, you'll be watching yourself in the next few days.
I hate watching myself.
Me too.
But yeah, no, YouTube is definitely a godsend in these times, both watching, and I've also been trying to make a bunch of videos. I think definitely getting because I make YouTube videos, that's kind of something I do for a hobby, and I've got a little bit of a following doing it, but it's I think to that end, I think it's really cool because I know a lot of us are involved with film. The nice thing about film is that there are a lot of aspects of it that can be done even when you're inside. Obviously, you got to go outside to record a lot, but there are a lot of really creative things you can do on with just editing software and the camera around the house, and I've definitely been experimenting with that.
Very cool.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that we are all finding our own ways to make it go by in quarantine without going absolutely insane. But it looks like we're going to have to wrap it up for today. Sean, Justin, you two have been wonderful. Matt and Michael, you can come back next
Don't be
week,
mean.
though. But thank you very much for coming on here, guys. Hopefully, again, we'll see you sometime soon.
On the next episode of 20-something.
That's right, Sean. And if you guys are interested in more 20-somethings content, feel free to follow us on Instagram for 20-somethings TV. And have a wonderful night, guys.
Thank you.
Adios.